All right, today we're diving into a piece of tech that could genuinely change how we see our own health, and I mean that literally. It's an AI platform called ScanWise, and it's built to understand the medical scans that hold so many of our secrets.
So take a look at this. What are you seeing? For most of us, right, it's just a blur of black, white, and gray. But what if I told you that hiding somewhere in that image could be a tiny detail that changes a person's life forever? The real question is, can we spot it in time?
And that's the frightening reality. For millions of people, especially in healthcare systems that are just completely overwhelmed, the answer to that question comes way, way too late. These delays in getting scans read properly can have absolutely devastating consequences. So this brings us to the heart of the problem. A healthcare system under pressure with a huge challenge in medical imaging. Look, this delay isn't just a rare thing. It's a massive systemic problem. In places like India, and honestly, increasingly all over the world, the entire system is stretched thin, and medical imaging has become this giant bottleneck. And when you have a bottleneck like that, it just creates this cascade of problems. You don't have enough specialist radiologists, especially outside of the big cities. So what happens? Critical conditions get detected late. This pushes everyone towards the already overcrowded major hospitals. And through all this, the patients themselves, they're often left totally confused and in the dark about what their own results even mean. So, how in the world do you start to fix a problem that big? Well, this is where a completely new approach comes into play. Let's talk about ScanWise. So what is ScanWise? The key thing to get is that this is not some big, complicated piece of hospital hardware. Nope. It's a smart, cloud-based software platform. You feed it a scan or a lab report, and its AI gives you an instant summary in simple, plain language. The whole system is built for just two things: speed and clarity. But how does it actually do that? How does it turn a really complex image into a simple insight? Let's break down how the AI works. The process itself is designed to be incredibly simple. First, a patient or a doctor just uploads an image of a scan or a PDF of a report. That's it. Second, a whole team of specialized AI agents gets to work, analyzing all the data. And third, boom, you get an instant summary right back on your screen. Now that part about a team of AI agents, that's kind of the secret sauce here. It uses what's called agentic AI. So instead of one single AI trying to figure everything out, ScanWise uses a whole crew of digital specialists. They work together on the problem, just like a real medical team would. But they do it all in a matter of seconds. And get this. It's not just for one specific type of scan. The platform is super versatile. It can handle everything from chest x-rays and brain MRIs to photos of skin lesions and even PDF lab reports. It's basically a Swiss Army knife for medical analysis. And that versatility means it serves two very different but equally important groups. On one side, you have patients who need clarity, and on the other, you have doctors who need support. It's really two sides of the same solution. For patients, this is the magic moment. You know how medical reports can feel like they're written in another language? Well, on the left, you see that typical medical jargon. But on the right, you get ScanWise's simple summary. Now, what's crucial is that it is not giving a diagnosis. It's just empowering the patient by saying, hey, the AI noticed something here. A doctor should take a look. It bridges a huge communication gap. Empowering patients is amazing, but it's only half the story. Maybe its most critical function, the real game changer for the entire healthcare system, is triage. It's all about helping sort cases by urgency. So the AI sorts every scan into one of three categories to help doctors prioritize. The first one is emergency. If the system detects patterns that suggest a life-threatening condition, it sounds the alarm. It basically says this needs immediate medical attention, now. Next up is priority. This is for findings that are serious and definitely need a prompt review by a doctor, but they aren't an immediate life or death crisis. This helps clinicians manage their overwhelming caseloads by focusing on who needs help the soonest. And finally, there's routine. This is for cases where no urgent patterns were spotted, so they can just follow the standard path. You know, this simple act of sorting can drastically reduce the load on critical services and make sure that the most urgent cases get seen first. So when you put all this together, you've got empowered patients and smarter clinical triage, you start to see the much bigger picture. This isn't just about reading one scan. It's about reshaping healthcare access on a massive scale. I mean, the potential outcomes here are profound. We're talking about interpreting scans way, way faster. Patients are more engaged in their own care.
Triage gets more efficient, which eases the burden on hospitals. And by making clinical intelligence affordable, it helps push forward huge national goals, like India's digital health mission. And the key to making all of this affordable and scalable, it's a 100% software solution. No expensive hardware, no complex installation. All you need is a smartphone and an internet connection. That makes it accessible just about anywhere, even in the most remote clinics. Okay, but with all this power comes a massive responsibility. And that brings us to the golden rule of how this kind of technology has to be used safely and ethically. We have to think of it as a doctor's AI assistant. And this is the single most important rule, something we absolutely cannot overstate. ScanWise is assistive. It is a tool for clinicians, not a replacement of them. The AI flags patterns, it suggests urgency, but the final diagnosis, that must always come from a human medical professional, period.
This is really the tightrope that AI in medicine has to walk, right? You have to create something powerful enough to democratize access, but design it to always be an assistant to human expertise. And it leaves you with a really big question. Is this what the future of truly accessible healthcare looks like?